Hey everyone, no respawns here. Hope you are doing well. So we're actually mixing up a little bit today and are at Kingsport Lighthouse. Now what I did just at the tail end of the last stream is firstly clear this place out, which I'm playing on hard mode and also only level 19. A little bit difficult, but we managed it. And then I've cleared off all of the mess, so all of the debris. And what I want to do in this video is I want to wall it off. Now, normally I don't show every step of the walling, and often I'll just, because I do so many walling settlement videos, I usually don't show all of them. But for this one, because it's quite a weird shape on what you choose to wall off, I thought it'd be handy to kind of show you the process. Plus, I love Kingsport Lighthouse. I thought I'd never actually fully built here before, or at least like a modded version, but apparently I have. I'm a filthy liar, basically. Where am I going? I'm going to the wrong mod menu. It's a bit windy here as well. Can you hear it? So how I go about specifically Kingsport, right, is I'm treating this like a fort. So the actual lighthouse area like a fort, and this is the dock of my fort. So I don't almost include the dock, and I have a wee fence here, because the idea being that, like, this is, I mean, unless I was able to build, you know, actually seawalls, realistically I don't want to, historically I always like walled over to here and it looked a bit goofy, whereas I actually deliberately make it so that this place is almost separate, and I think it works better. What I'm going to do is I'm sort of show you most of it, in essence, and then a lot of the fine-tuning I'll do off camera. I haven't used this one in ages. Let's have a butcher's and see how that opens. Oh, 1 sec. It gets open pretty wide to the side, though. Nah, I'm gonna do a variation of my sanctuary ones, I think, because they make me happier. So we'll do that. We'll be basic and unoriginal, but it'll look cool. Unless I don't... Oh, I do just have enough. I actually more than enough. One thing I don't like is the fact I can't get rid of that stupid little truck at the end there. But whatevs. Whatevs. It doesn't bother me too much. It absolutely does. It really does. But it's alright, right. Also, I always find the build area for this one feels like it should, even if it doesn't go to there, it should at least go to that tree, because I can't get rid of that bit of fence there, but you know what? That definitely does bother me. I'm going to just pop you down here somewhere. I'm going to not store, actually no, I'll just store them, because I won't get attacked while I'm here, will I? It's very loud. Very loud. Okie dokie. So what I tend to find a really good way to, when you go about building your walls, is I actually put most of the stuff down first, so I get an idea of the shape without having to worry about, like, putting things in the right place. So I know one guard post to the side there. And it's a really good idea, because it kind of gives you a little bit of, like, you can visually see, okay, where's this going, what's going there, which wall am I putting there? And I can sort of then just, like, glitch them all in, and then I just plug any gaps that I have afterwards. So what I'm doing, actually, yes, I'm going to do it this way. Also, I tend to mix up a kind of collection of junk walls and also kind of wood walls, just because I like to shake things up a little bit. Also, that guy just seems to want to just stand there. Like, I kind of don't blame him, because it is really scary around here, but man's just been sort of just hanging out. You gonna be a big brave boy? No? Alright, fine. Right, okay, so let's... Also, I only use a couple of the ones with the, I don't use the ones with the barbed wire, purely because I feel as if I don't have enough consistent barbed wire for it to look right. Okay, so in that case, I need to move you out of there. Do a bit of one. Actually, I might even just do it that way. So I haven't got my scrapping mod disabled. So I bang this drum a lot, because unless not everyone knows, right? But basically, because I've got, I think it's called Scrap Everything is the one I've got, and which is a really, really good mod. But unfortunately, and no fault to the mod at all, it's actually just the way the game works. Is it interferes with items sinking into the ground a little bit, basically just causing them to sort of twat out a little bit, and often things will go red. So if you're trying to scrap, if you're trying to, like, say, do like the pillar glitch, for example, and it's not working, it's often, if not always, because you have scrapped that settlement or a variation of it installed, and therefore basically the game kind of sort of creates collision, and it causes things to not work. So you can actually disable it, and what I'll do is when I do the pillar glitching in, I'll actually just disable it, and then you just re-enable it, and everything comes back. Disable, don't delete. Right, so I've got Aslam's Junk Wall Pack, which I adore with every fibre of my being, because it allows me to have some quirky bits that I can shove in, which is what we're going to do. Allows me to be a bit lazy, basically. But you've got to be tastefully lazy. I never use his thing. Shall I actually finally... Because I never use these because I'm a bit of a snob, but... Might actually... I don't know how the... Not placing it very well, is it? So what I mean, so the reason why I can't place that is objectively because of the junk walls. So what I'll probably do is have to put it close and just... Jesus Christ, not junk walls, with the scrapping mod, basically. It's hilarious. I'm going to use that one. Because I wanted to put a couple of these bits around. I really like this one a lot. I thought it looked quite nice next to that tree. Again, we're doing quite scruffiness because I'm just kind of like marking out. Make sure you leave a space because otherwise you can't plug out the gaps in front. I have done that. The slog is the worst offender for me for doing that. Okay, he's wondering who I'm talking to. This one actually worked really well here. Yeah, the scrapping mod is annoying. Because it's basically the stuff are trying to sink, basically. And because these rocks are, if you're actually in the creation kit, you can see where I can select one of them there. This is actually basically like a solid item that they've just put on this mound. And therefore it is a little bit of a nightmare. It also happens in Fallout 76 too. Speaking of Fallout 76, if you're watching this video live, I recently jumped back into that again. For those that don't know, I played it on PC for a long time and made lots of videos on it. 1 or 2, in fact. And unfortunately, it just started crashing after a while. Broke my heart, in fact. Oh, let's not use that one. It worked fine. I was weird. When it first launched and when it was all buggy, it worked fine for me. But for some reason, they released an update and it just caused the game to like just crash the desktop constantly. It was heartbreaking. I couldn't play for more than 20 minutes and it would just inevitably happen. And that's why I stopped playing. But I have a PlayStation 5 now. And I've been meaning to jump into it, but I didn't want to have to go through, like... It was more like missing all my Atom Store items, because they're not shared across characters. But I impulsively did it the day when it was on sale, and I've been having an absolute blast. So, give me probably a month or so. Probably a month, maybe less than a month. Give me a bit, basically, and you're going to start seeing Fallout 76 content again. I'm going to buy a lot of stuff from the App Store again, but I probably won't buy as much as I used to. So for context, I used to buy basically most of the bundles each week so I could review them. I will not be doing that. So I'll be doing stuff as I kind of feel like it. Am I going to have any chain link fences? No, I feel I've already kind of committed to no chain link fences. You see why doing this works? Because even though it looks goofy as hell, it just gives you a frame of reference for, like, where everything's going to go. So, look, I know that's going to fit there. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pop that there, and I'm going to put a placeholder down. That's just going to be like, right, you're going there. I picked that one because it was the first one, and also because it's a nice, weird shape that I'll be able to match that fairly often. Okay. Keep it over time as well. I want to basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you like the outline of what I'm doing, and then I'm going to disappear off. I'll show you a little bit of how I, you know, glitch bits in, yada yada, and then most of it will just be me off camera. I'm going to put this flat wall there because obviously those stairs will be in a bit of a bull lake, won't they? The answer is yes, yes they will. Now, yes, these walls will look kind of thin and a little bit fragile initially, but I'm going to bulk these up with bits and pieces, so don't worry about... Because I can hear you worrying, I can hear you fretting through the internet. Don't you worry your pretty little face, yeah? It'll look lovely. Possibly. Hopefully. Okie dokie. Cool. Let's have something there and then something from Aslan's pack again. What am I doing with my life? That wasn't a statement about my life generally. It was me, what am I navigating the menu? It occurs to me I should clarify that one. I haven't used that one yet. I will use it now. I will almost certainly have to, like, plug in a few gaps now and then, but, like, yeah. So this one's going to go basically all the way over to here. I'm actually probably going to have to... I'm actually probably going to... Ooh, that one's just going to glitch in. Right, okay, I'm going to do that like that. And we're going to put one of the thin boards in the side, so it sort of just comfortably attaches to the walls. You guys obviously know what I'm talking about, don't you? It's really windy. I'm going to have the in-game volume down a little bit, but it is proper windy. I'll just put it there for now, just so it's there, and I can move it around a bit. Also, the scrap that settlement mod, or any scrap mod, actually enables you to scrap that. Like, you can... Yeah, don't do that. I nearly did. I did it on the stream the other day. I had to reload. I felt very silly. Okay. I love these pieces, by the way, if you haven't gathered. Massively underrated pieces. I use them in all of my mods, especially. I make them bigger, and they just work with everything. Hashtag it just works. But it doesn't work, does it, Todd? Half the time it's broken, you bellend. Let's put a normal junk wall there. Oh no, I was going to put an Aston things, wasn't I? I was. Yes, I was. I love making walls. I originally, and I am still going to do it, I was originally going to do, probably... That's probably going to be part of a wall. What do we call it? Exactly that. Oh, there's one of those things. I know I want. This. Do you want that? No, but it gives me an idea. Yeah, I was originally going to do the water purifier area in Sanctuary, and I changed my mind because I was just... Well, basically, I loaded into this. Like, you know what? Let's do the walls instead. So we're doing the walls. Also, it means I don't have to decorate anything, and I'll be honest, I cannot be bothered to decorate. We're going to have the watchtower, basically. That's what we're going to have here, because I think it'll look cool. Cool. I'll show a bit on the watchtower in a sec. Cool. So we've done all the way around. What I'll do is I won't do the other bit on the camera, because obviously the whole video will be me playing with the walls. But that's ostensibly the idea. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this bit, and then I'm going to re-enable the scrapping mod, or disable it rather, and then I'll actually glitch in some walls, and I'll tidy this up, and then... Yeah, you can see a little bit of that process. One mo. Right, so I basically finished all of the walls bar the bit that I'm just going to show you the slightly, a little bit tedious process, but I'm just going to show you what we've done so far. Now, what I am going to do in the future, but not for this video, is I am going to add more details. Normally I like to sink a load of junk on the outside, put a load of signs, add a bit of colour. But for the sake of just showing you the process, for this one I won't do that. But when I do the actual tour, you'll see it then, when I finish the settlement, basically. So what I've gone and done is I've taken the walls that we placed and I've sort of sunk them all in. There's one section which is in front of this, or two, in front of this car here, and in front of that car there, which I might end up taking them out or replacing them with something else, or basically bulking them up, but I haven't decided what I'm going to put in there. So, but for now, they're at least sunk in where they need to be. What I also do, and you'll see, is I add loads of railings to sort of plug out gaps, because you'll often find there'll be wall sections once you've sunk in or a little bit higher or lower, and you just want to sort of add a few bits and pieces. I probably want to put one there, actually. But the whole thing looks really good. I really like this design. Firstly, these are pretty cool. I was a bit worried I wouldn't be able to fit through the door, actually. I like this design for the guard post, because it just works so well, I think. I'm stuck on stuff. I love how just adding a wall to a settlement completely transforms it. It's awesome. I love it. It's so cool. So they're all sunk in. Everything's looking crisp. I've re-enabled the scrapping mod so I could use the pillar. That's where all the rocks and stuff have come back. But I'm going to leave that on for the rest of this because otherwise I won't be able to do much of stuff. But it's looking lovely. I was tempted to put a guard post on this side, but technically I've got that one, so it would look a bit too busy if I had like three really close to each other. But yeah, so I've done all the way up to here. I need to move this in. So we'll do this section now. It's honestly really straightforward. It does take a bit, but the good thing about Kingsport Lighthouse, or at least how I've done it, is it doesn't take very long compared to, say, you know, for example, Sanctuary. Although saying that, Sanctuary, maybe not, because the way I wall up Sanctuary is I usually wall it between the buildings. So this is probably one of the bigger ones. Like the slog takes absolutely ages. The slog is horrendous because there's not really... You have to basically surround the whole thing with walls and you don't really have a choice otherwise. let's put... Can I get it first time? Nope. There we go, gorgeous. Pop that one in there. I always like to build the walls as early as possible when I'm doing this, because it just completes the whole settlement. Like, and it gives you a sense of it. It feels finished even though it's not finished, if you know what I mean. If you're being incredibly OCD, you could possibly get annoyed by the fact that the wood is sinking into the stone, but look, listen. Hashtag it just works. I don't know. Does it, though? As we've said, does it? Todd. You bastard. Right, let's pop this. This is what I do, basically. This is also why I place the walls down, because this makes this little bit... Like, I can get a vague idea of, like, where everything roughly needs to go, and then I just pull them out, and I just sink them in where they're actually meant to go, and then also I can kind of patch them up, which you'll see in a sec. See that there's going to be big gaps at the top here, so I'm going to fill those up with railings and flat boards and things. I can't place you down. Stop being a dickhead. Let me place you down, you jackass. Thank you. I might put up... Actually, it should be fine if I select all it. Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's grand. It's just because I wasn't sinking it in, it needed to be a little bit more perfect. Put that one just in front, like the tail section. There we go, gorgeous. How does that look at the front? One sec. Yeah, that looks really good. Gosh. Cool. And then I've got... Did I do that? Yeah, I've done that one. So I need to plug out that gap there and plug out those gaps there. I do like building walls. Also, I'll be honest, it was quite nice taking a break from Sanctuary, because Sanctuary is one of those ones that it's just going to take ages to finish. It is kind of nearly finished, but there's been loads of decoration. But this one's quite a nice little contained area, which is going to be significantly easier to at least feel complete. I'm going to do that. Are you going to grab that if I select all? You're good. Okay, cool. I might have to do something a bit thinner for that one. Right, we'll plop you there. I really like this board, incidentally. If you're curious, I do like to mention which pieces of wood I like the most. Big fan of that one. Favourite railing. That's who's my favourite railing. I don't know why I like this railing. It's just... The spacing is perfect. It looks nice. It's lovely. 10 out of 10. Great railing. I just want to plug that gap there, so let's just see what the space is over the side. I think it was just the angle, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. So if we just grab probably the same board again, actually. I probably can just squeeze it in over here. Which direction do we want it going in? That way. I always, as I mentioned, I meant, trying to put spacing between a little bit between the walls and the edge of the build map is a really good idea, because it allows you to, if I need to... Well, you want to put detailing in front of it anyway. Oh, lovely. Gorgeous. Lovely. Right, gorgeous. Right, okay, cool. So that's basically it. So the only thing I want to do, and I won't do it now, but I am going to probably just meticulously put railings and stuff over this to sort of cover it up. Because I like the look of the cars, but obviously there is some gaps there. And then the other one that side, but let's give you guys a tour on the exterior. It looks lovely, and like I always recommend trying to... The thing about the walls, right, is it may feel like the most daunting part of a settlement to do, but once it's done, it's done. Yeah, that's the kind of the logic I use. It's like once you've finished it, then all you have to do is you have the stuff inside, but it'll always make the settlement feel complete. So this one here I need to patch up as well, but I'm going to do it off camera because it's just going to be really fiddly. And there are a couple of gaps I can probably plug. One thing that the bare walls that I've got right now, they obviously are brown and kind of rusty looking. I do like to put a splash of colour on them. Depending on the settlement more, for example, my Starlight Driving on my last run was very, very colourful and shiny. And like I'm going to bulk these out with a bit more, but I wanted to show you the kind of bare bones process so it gives you guys an idea of how to build walls, and also specifically how to tackle the walls at Kingsport Lighthouse. Anywho, hope you guys liked that, gave you a few ideas. As always, follow me on the socials at No Respawns, link in the description. If you didn't watch my little, I keep calling it a story, it's not, it's a short. I posted a short yesterday, just giving you a little channel update in the fact that the streaming is going to move to one stream a week rather than two, and it's moving completely back to YouTube. I will have that link up today or maybe tomorrow early afternoon, 8 p.m. UK time though. Anywho, I love you all. You enjoy the rest of your week. Take care.